Good morning! I have just finished shooting at Bondi with Ash and I'm on my second matcha of the day, iced one, because it's finally hot and warm in Sydney. It's heaven. And yeah, so I said on my Instagram that I was going to do a Q&A on my YouTube, and I haven't done one of these videos before. I'm a bit nervous speaking to the camera like this, but I'm feeling inspired to share a little bit about more about my life and my journey and what I'm learning through my studies, because I just know how beneficial it could be to a lot of people. So thank you guys so much if you wrote a question on Instagram. I was blown away by how many questions I got. Like, I was like, whoa, like epic. Thank you so much. So I had a little look through them all, and you guys are super interested in like the health and fitness side and also the modeling side. So I'll try to get through as many as I can without speaking for too long. But yeah, I thought I would maybe start with, so how did you get into modeling and how long have you been modeling for? Okay, so I got scouted when I was 15 in Bondi by a guy called Richard Manor, and I was literally underage drinking at the beach at night, and he came up to me and he was like, oh, I love your look, da da da. And then yeah, we just connected. I met his brother. I actually went and like met the brother without like I was living at home at the time. Met his brother, who was an amazing photographer, David Manor, and he was like, I want to do this shoot with you, I really love your look. And yeah, so I went home and I told my mum that I'd gone to the city and met this photographer, and she was obviously furious at me, because now I'm 28, looking back on it, I'm like, that could have been really dangerous. But she agreed to let me do the shoot because she saw how incredibly talented these guys were. And she came with me, and to this day it's still one of my favorite shoots. If I can work out how to put photos up, I'll put them up there, but if I don't know how to do them, sorry. So then yeah, from there I just started modeling. I signed with an agency called Platform, and I would leave school, go to like the morning shows once a week. They had like makeup artists and hair tutorials on the show, so I would do that. And then Instagram started to become a really big thing when I was maybe 17, 18, and then I went on my gap year, so I was just posting photos, and it was a lot easier to grow on Instagram back then, I have to say. And when I came home, I think I probably had like 10,000 followers, came home from my Europe travel, and then a lot of photographers were reaching out and wanted to do test shoots with me. So yeah, I did those, and then I started doing a bit of freelance modeling because brands were hitting me up through Instagram, and I was like, wow, this is a crazy platform. I went to Bali for a job, and then 8 years ago or 9 years ago, Chic was my first big agency. They found me on Instagram, and I was with them for 7 years, which was an incredible 7 years with them. And then I moved to IMG like 18 months ago. So I've been modeling now for 13 years. But like 13 years, but full time for 8 years, which has been a dream come true for me. So yeah, all right. Fave form of exercise. So I personally, my favorite type of exercise is cardio, like HIIT sort of training, because I love being challenged and I love the endorphins at the end of the workout. However, I know with my energy levels, I can only do that training maybe twice a week. And I love Pilates because I feel like I can do that every day and I don't get too sore, and yeah, it just feels so nice to like stretch and lengthen the muscles. But my favorite training is HIIT training for how I feel afterwards. Let's have a look. How many steps do you usually do? So people always like to be like, I always see you walking, Dom. And I definitely choose to walk over drive whenever I can. I live in Bondi, so a lot of places where I meet friends or even a lot of shoots are quite local. So I try to walk, but I always try to do 10,000 steps every day. So it means on days where I can't get to the gym or do Pilates, I'm still always doing my 10,000 steps, and I'll always wake up early to do them because I know I'm my best self to everyone around me when I have that me time, which is my walks. And I listen to a podcast, or I don't even listen to anything at all. I just listen to nature, and it gives me a time to just ground and center. And yeah, it's, for me, walking it's moving meditation. And yeah, it's my favorite thing. Do you think you found your purpose? If so, what is it? I love this question. I've actually recently been doing a purpose course with a life coach, and it's been 8 weeks now. And I've actually come up with my purpose statement, which is to inspire people to to inspire people to have a healthy body and mind. And I realized that truly is my purpose, and it is why I've always loved creating content about what I eat in a day, my movement, and I just needed someone to put the puzzle together. And I guess that's why I wanted to do this video and kind of put more energy into sharing my life, because I wish I knew then what I know now in terms of health and fitness. I have been on a journey myself, and I'm seeing some questions about, if I've had issues with eating and over-exercising and stuff like that. And I definitely think it's super common for models to go through a bit of kind of body dysmorphia and like self-doubt and comparison. And when I first started modeling, I was obviously so young, and yeah, I didn't treat my body with the respect. I wasn't eating properly, I was over-exercising, and yeah, I just was constantly exhausted. I remember when I was 18, I had to get a blood test, and the doctor actually said to me my results came up as malnourished, which was a big indicator that something was not right. And then my agency, when I started with Chic, after a few months, I felt so much pressure to be with such a big agency at the time. I ended up losing a lot of weight, and they had to pull me off work for a month because they did my measurements, and they said, until you put on weight, we're not letting you work. So those two key moments, the blood test and then my agency actually telling me that, was like the penny dropped, and I was like, I need to change what I'm doing. And as soon as I changed what I was doing and I started learning about health and nutrition, I was able to then become my healthiest self. And I was busier than ever once I started looking healthy. I definitely think as well, because I'm not super tall and editorial, my look is more commercial, that being a healthy weight was what brands wanted. They wanted a healthy looking girl, and I feel really lucky to be in that space, and that I haven't had to deal with trying to be like super skinny to do catwalks and things like that. So yeah, I've built a really healthy relationship with food and exercise now, and yeah, I'm actually really grateful for Chic, because maybe without them I would have kept going down a really bad path. So yeah, that's kind of how my purpose has stemmed. I've realized that your purpose comes from your actual past traumas, and your purpose comes from wanting to share and make sure other people don't have to go through that. So yeah, I really like that question. That was actually from my friend Nick, who asked that. Your favorite matcha in Sydney? My own. No, but my favorite matchas are Tin Pin in Bondi, which is actually where I met my boyfriend, so it has like a special place in my heart. And Blackwood, but the iced matcha. I think if you're new to matcha, you should start with iced, because I find it's less, some people say it's grassy, but I don't know, I like it. Okay, so let's keep going. Tips for becoming your best self. So it all starts with the mind, and I think that was a massive thing that I learned when I was, talking about my wellness journey. Was it all starts with the mind. I used to think journaling and meditation, all this was woo-woo. It is life-changing. Wow. So when I was, sorry, I've gone off track, but the question was tips to become your best self. So when I wasn't my best self, when I was dealing with anxiety, which I still deal with, but it was really bad when I first started modeling, I went into a really bad cycle of not being able to sleep because my thoughts were just racing. So I just didn't feel good. And I started journaling religiously and before bed. And I have probably 50 journals because I've been doing it since I was 20. So for 8 years straight. And I have followed the same prompts, which is I will let go of, today I'm grateful for, and I will focus on, followed by affirmations. And doing this has allowed me, is my number one tip for becoming your best self, is to focus on the mind and journal every single day. Whether it's a brain dump, whether it's gratitude, whatever it is, it allows you to just see clearly, because when you've got brain fog, you cannot be your best self. When you are comparing yourself and you have anxious thoughts about the past, because one of my favorite affirmations is you are exactly where you need to be. So if you are exactly where you need to be, all those thoughts, everything do not matter, because there is a reason you are where you are. So my number one tip to be your best self is to focus on the mind and journal. My second tip for being your best self, I would say, would be movement. Movement every day. So, it can be a walk. It can start off with a 10-minute walk if you're new. Because one of the things that I've come to realize is a lot of my followers or people who watch my content, they are new to exercise, so it's not realistic to say so you just start off with an hour walk and an hour Pilates. It's not realistic. Start off with going outside for a 10-minute walk, then go to 20-minute, then go to 30-minute, and before you know it, you're going to start loving to walk, because it's going to give you your time to listen to a podcast and just be outside in nature. But that movement doesn't have to be going to the gym and doing a crazy workout. And once you start doing that, it actually boosts your serotonin, and then you're going to feel better and you're going to be able to be your best self. My third tip to be your best self would be surround yourself with people who lift you up. I have had such a shift in friends since I've been in school to a place now where I feel like I can tell my wins and be cheered on by my friends, and I can tell them the hard shit that's going on in my life and they will be there for me. So yeah, I just think if you're not feeling your best self, maybe look around. Are the people around you living their purpose? Are the people around you living a healthy lifestyle? Are the people around you inspiring? You want to be around people who have all these qualities so that you are at their level and you are constantly all going up together. So it's a quote that everyone always talks about, that you're the combination of the 5 people you hang out with. And my mum would drill this into me as a kid because I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, and I was like, no, it doesn't matter. And wow, I don't know if anyone else is having that, but as you get older, you're like, wow, everything that my mom and my dad said were right. Parents literally know best sometimes, a lot of the time, actually. So yeah, hang around people. I think if I was going to add a 4th tip to be your best self would be get a good night's rest and really prioritize rest. I as I said, like I used to have really bad insomnia and sleep, and actually last night I didn't have a good sleep. It does come and go in waves, and I would have liked to touch on in other videos or whatever other vehicle I used to share, is that it's a process and it's a journey. So I'm not cured from anxiety, I'm not cured from insomnia, I'm not cured from self-doubt and like sometimes body dysmorphia, but it's everyday steps to become my best self. So as I was saying with rest, I have a really good nighttime routine, and I have now become someone who limits hanging out with people in the evenings during the week. Like I would rather wake up and do a sunrise walk than go out in the evenings, because rest is really important to me, and I know that I need like an hour to wind down before I can go to sleep. So yeah, I think rest is really important, and your day starts the night before. So if you have a good nighttime routine, have a good rest, you'll be able to do the mindset stuff, you'll be able to get the movement in, you'll show up to work better. So yeah, as I don't know if it coming with age, but rest is so important to me. And you can sleep when you're dead is like the worst quote to live by, because you're not going to live as long, because you need sleep to restore and recharge. So yeah, those are my tips to be your best self. Hair care routine. Wow, I used to wear hair extensions, and now this is like all my own hair, which is just crazy to me. My biggest hair care tips are to not dye your hair. Try not to style it. I sleep with it in plaits if I have a shoot on, and then it's kind of got this really nice wave through it. And hair masks. So I swapped my conditioner for hair masks, and I've seen, yes, it's more expensive, but I've seen such a change in my hair. So I love Olaplex, I love Virtue. What else have I got in my bathroom? Growth Bomb, I actually really love their products too. So yeah, and my last tip as well, I know it's all like natural girl, but try not to wash your hair. Learn how to do a good sleek bun with oil, and then it's so good for your hair and also looks really chic, and it's on trend at the moment. And then you can just leave your hair, because that's when it grows. The natural oils are good for it. So yeah, just less is best with hair and skin, I think, personally. But that's a whole nother topic, skin, because I've gone through a journey with that. How to prevent cravings and overeating. Look, we're all human. One of my best tips is that if you become knowledgeable in this space, it's a lot easier to not overeat and overindulge. Because firstly, I understand now that when you eat processed foods, there's actual ingredients in there that make it moreish and pretty much impossible for you to not go and have the whole bag. So I stay away from any ultra processed food, and I just eat really natural as I can. I try to only shop on the outskirts of the supermarket. And yeah, I mean, you can overindulge in healthy food and it's going to be okay because it's super nutrient, but also it's satiating, so you're probably less likely to overeat. But I'm also a human, so you know, I do go out and overeat at times, but I would definitely use the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time I'm eating super clean, I'm trying to cook, but if I'm out, I'll like order a plate of food that I know I can eat, and then the 20% of the time I'll indulge and, you know, have my drinks and have dessert and have ice cream, and yeah, I feel fine about it because I know the other 80% is good. I also think the more in tune you become with your body over time as you start your health and fitness journey, things like this do become a lot easier. And I know if you're at the start of your health and fitness journey, it seems impossible to like not eat the naughty food and to not have that square of chocolate after your dinner. And I mean, square of chocolate's obviously fine, but a sweet after every meal, because I used to do that. Now I just only have the square of chocolate after dinner. I know it seems impossible, but the more you work at it, the easier it becomes until it becomes a lifestyle choice and just seamless. So yeah, I might just do like 2 more questions. So would love to know more about your snacking habits and portion sizing guides. So for me, it is 3/4 of the plate are veggies and protein, and then 1/4 of the plate is carbs. I just follow that rule. And like, I literally love like big delicious salads with like avocado and salmon and chicken and broccoli and pepitas and cranberries. Like, that makes me so excited that I don't find it so like difficult to do that. And there's so many different fruit and veggies, and you can mix it up seasonally by eating what's in season, that, you know, it's exciting every time you can put stuff in the oven. And I also did start eating meat again this year in March after 8 years of being pescatarian, so I have a lot more variety now, which is super exciting for me. And then with snacking, so I always go for a high fat, high protein snack. So like dates dipped in almond butter, or I'll have, well, now I'm eating meat, so I'll have some meat on, like some turkey on corn thins, or yeah, I am a snacker, but since I've started really focusing on protein, I find that I am more satiated and I don't actually go for the snacks. I have my breakfast, lunch and dinner, and I'm satiated in the gaps. But yeah, there's definitely room for snacking, and there's so many healthy snack ideas. I think I've got a few videos, but yeah, comment if you want me to post any more snack idea videos. Last question. What exercise or sport do you recommend to have long but not large muscles? So I think it's important to realize that unless you're eating heaps, if you're going to the gym and doing weights, it's unlikely that you're going to get bulky. I think it's important to understand that to have longevity in your life, weight training is essential. As you get older, you get more frail and you fall down and you injure yourself. So having strong muscles is so good for you. It's also amazing for weight loss because it makes your metabolism work faster. So I think don't be scared of weights. And obviously, like long lean muscles, I love Pilates, and I love Pilates classes that use ankle weights or hand weights that make it that little bit more challenging. So yeah, I think mix up your workouts, but don't be scared of weights and don't be nervous. It's going to make you bulky, because it's going to make you strong and lean and improve your cognitive health, and it's just great for you. So yeah, that's my little Q&A for the day. Let me know if you like this video. I was a bit nervous doing it, but I've done it. And yeah, let me know what other videos you guys would like to see. I definitely want to become more consistent on posting on this channel. So yeah, I hope you guys all have a beautiful day.